All around us, our devices are waking up and starting to talk to each other. From luxury coffee machines to wristbands that monitor our workout process to watches that sync with our smartphones, the simple technology we take for granted is becoming more intelligent and more connected. These days, you can control almost anything in your home from a tablet or smartphone. From your TV to your window blinds, some of these changes promise to teach us about ourselves and the world around us. Health startups are producing apps and gadgets that help us lose weight, eat healthily, and sleep soundly. They can even tell us the right time to try for a baby. There's never been a more exciting time to invest in consumer devices. Europe has an unparalleled history of engineering expertise, and some of the greatest industrial technology companies in the world were started here. Are we on the verge of the next great wave of consumer technology?
We had our first request for gin and tonic, so excuse me. Now, the observation I made about some of our greatest minds...
More. That is good. But tonic as well.
Oh, yeah. We have bitter lemon. Would you like bitter lemon?
No,
bitter lemon's delightful.
Tonic.
Oh, okay.
Is this on?
It's lovely. It's
yeah.
Okay. Now, the observation I made a minute ago about our greatest minds being dedicated in Palo Alto to making people click on ads was actually something Hans said at the last high. Why do you think this has happened? I mean, what went so wrong with the tech industry that that we now have these internet companies building, building social networks instead of building spaceships?
Well, I think what happened in the last 10, 15 years was a really great opportunity. I mean, the internet came up and a lot of great companies were built on top of that. What? More, please. And these companies, and I would say 4 or 5, thank you, this is perfect. Giant companies have been built, Amazon, eBay, Apple, Google, Facebook, 5. Is there anyone I missed? So it's 5 big companies. And now we see a sort of flattening out of these really great innovations that happen online. And it's getting more and more incremental. And I talked to the CEO of one of these great copycatting companies from Germany. There was a background thing, I won't say who it was, but I asked him, so have you copied in the last 6 to 8 months anything? And he said, no, we actually haven't. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, it could be a trend, right? I asked him, is this a trend? Is that something that you see that actually there is no innovation coming out anymore in the online and mobile space that are worth copying? And he said, yeah, you could look at it as a trend. And then I asked him, so are you going to do anything about hardware? And he said, yeah, we're thinking about it. So I think the reason, and now back to your question, is there was a great opportunity, and it's sort of the big things have been built, and now we're entering a new age where really 3 things are happening. Do you want to ask another question before I go on, or should I just go into my...
Fine.
Thank you. So I think we see 3 mega trends that are happening, and that is on a societal level. That is the generation, what they call the generation Y, is actually the generation I. So it's the generation of these youngsters who are 16, who are 18, and who are self-publishing, who are on Tumblr, who are on Instagram, who are on YouTube. And it's a very self-centered generation. And this self-centeredness has its negative things and has its positive things. But one is they're pretty emancipated, right? And they just do. So it's a pretty hands-on generation that's out there. And this generation meets new technology. And with new technology, I mean specifically the smartphone, right? The smartphone is an amazing invention. It is really something that is going to drive far deeper than we've seen it so far, because it's merging things, right? So it's merging. I don't even have a pocket, but what I want to say is it's merging the keys in your pocket are going to be merged in. The wallet in your pocket is going to be merged in. We're going to see that within the next 10 years. This is a Nokia study. Probably a lot of you know that. John Chipchase, he said that ages ago. But we're going to see this now in the next 10 years, that the smartphone is becoming ever more important, and that the digitalization is pretty deep, right? If your locks at your door at home are going to be opened by a smartphone, then this is not a photo sharing app, then this is something that is really deep in your everyday life. And that's something we're going to see. And then on an economic trend, we see that there is a massive amount of people that have been poor before that have been getting very rich in the last decades and are getting ever more richer. So there is a middle class in India and China that is going to be connected, and they're going to be connected first with a smartphone, not to mention Africa, of course. That's also a country where we see that much more rapidly. So and these three trends bring us to a situation where I think we're going to see a lot of innovation happening on the phone and around the phone, and that then involves devices. It involves devices like locks, it involves self-measurement. We're going to see small laboratories popping up in Africa, doctors who only need a smartphone to do their things. So there's a lot of stuff happening. So yeah, that's...
Thank you. I didn't interrupt you because that was very interesting. Jeff, could you explain briefly who you are and why, as an American, you're in Berlin?
Sure. So my name is Jeff Katz. I am an electrical and computer engineer. What brought me to Berlin is I was invited by a hardware startup to come and work with them, and it was such a great opportunity, and Berlin is such an amazingly awesome city to be in and live in that I couldn't say no. It was an offer I couldn't refuse. And once I got here and was working with this hardware startup, and I started getting into the startup scene here in Berlin. I went to some events, and I saw that it was mostly people talking about social networks and phone apps and such things. And there wasn't really a lot of people working on physical goods, hardware companies like what I was working on. And out of a desire to meet other people who were facing the same sort of challenges that I was facing, I and a couple of other people founded the Hardware Berlin Meetup, which is a group for other hardware entrepreneurs here in Berlin to come together and share war stories. And that's why I'm here today.
You're announcing something related to this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the guys from Beta House and the guys who are organizing HI and the Hardware Berlin Meetup, we're very happy to announce the Berlin Hardware Accelerator. And we're announcing it today. You can go on the website. You can apply immediately. The program kicks off on the 1st of September, runs for 2 months, and the goal of the accelerator is to get everybody together in the same room making really cool shit, because that's awesome. You know?
Christian, let me ask you, if you could explain briefly who you are for the audience first, and then tell me, like, if you can make $1 billion making a photo sharing app, like, why would anybody be stupid enough to work on hardware?
Yeah, good question. But at Tado, we want to contribute to one of the largest challenges in the world. So around a third of worldwide energy consumption actually goes into heating and cooling of buildings. And using our technology, we can reduce this demand by 27% on average. So we call our product Tado, we call it the first geolocation app for your heating. And when you order it online, so it's basically a product for everybody, you get this little hardware box, you install it at home, and then you download the app to your smartphone. And this app actually detects where you are. So it detects if you're at home, if you're at work, or if you're traveling. And it sets the temperature accordingly. And by doing so, it saves an average household around 300 euros year after year on the heating bill. So this is the solution which we wanted to build. And hardware is pretty much a necessary part of this solution in order to bring old heating systems from the cellars into the 21st century.
Thank you. I'd like to now read about your experience at the last HI and what you have in your lab.
Yes. So the High Berlin Award has been really driving lots of things on many levels. It's been a great experience. First, it enabled me to work on my startup full-time and to proceed with the development. And second, we got to visit the Silicon Valley area just in March. And there we got to pitch in front of investors. I got to meet with engineers from the solar industry that are looking into my business and that want to support the further development as well. And with regards to your second question, this is Solarbrush. It's the robotic for the cleaning of solar panels. This is really important, or a big issue in places like the Middle East, where you get lots of sand and dust on the solar panels. So what this robot does is it walks with 2 legs on the panels, and it has a brush at the very front that swipes, that cleans the panels. Yeah. Thanks so much. All right. So this really helps to raise the efficiency of renewables, especially in the Sunbelt countries. And I'm very grateful and thankful to the High Berlin team and the whole Berlin community, including Beta House, Hubraum. They have been very welcoming for this business.
Thank you. I'm going to ask each of you now. I mean, there's so much we could talk about, but we're going to have to leave it there. One thing from each member of the panel. I'm putting you on the spot here. I know I didn't tell you I was going to do this. One thing that you're excited about in the next 5 years, as the technology industry begins to wake up to the fact that we all want like cool physical objects. What's the product, the new killer product in the next 5 years that you're excited about appearing? And you can't say your own startup.
I was going to say that.
We'll start that end.
Well, of course, the Internet of Things, linking hardware with operability throughout your mobile device. I think there's many creative minds, and there will be certainly solutions.
I mean, I'm excited about like 3D printers in your homes. So it's also pretty much Internet of Things. So people all over the world can create hardware and put like CAD files online. You can buy them, and you can just print out things like physical things at home. So bringing the digital world and the physical world into the home with a 3D printer. This is something I'm actually excited about, and I would like to buy one of these if I have money.
Thanks.
Sure. Well, in the 80s, you had these microcomputers, and now we're starting to see 3D printing, the Arduino hardware stuff, and so 5, 10, 15 years from now, it's impossible to say what kind of really cool stuff they're going to come up with. But personally, I am the most excited about the things that affect people's everyday lives. So the quantified self movement, where you wear something on your wrist or on your head, and it keeps track of all of your vitals throughout the day, and it says, hey, today you did a whole bunch of exercise, so that's good, you get a point. And 5 years from now, that might be, hey, today you need to go eat a carrot because you're a little bit vitamin B deficient. And it's really a transformative change in technology.
I'm not asking you because you
need to ask me.
The
That's an amazing answer. So, I backed in my life 3 Kickstarter projects. One was a water purifier, one was a Swedish sound system, totally stylish, way too expensive, I don't know why I did this. And the third one, and this is really cool, was a thing called Mio. Actually, it was not a Kickstarter, they did the crowdfunding themselves on their own side. And Mio is a band you put around your lower arm, and it basically understands your muscle movement, so you can gesture control pretty much everything. It's open source, so I could do a switch and switch off the light, or have I don't know, Milo disappear. No, you can basically. This is really
only his socks.
only his socks. Now, so this is really the hardware that is really going to impact our lives, because you can gesture control
change
stuff.
In the interval now.
So check out MYO, I think it's called, and it's they're launching soon. I don't know them, so I'm no interest in front. This is fucking amazing stuff.
The other thing you're excited about, you went away and built a company around, and we're going to hear about that next.
Yeah,
I won't ask you about that. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry we didn't have more time. Thank you so much. Our hardware panel, thank you.